Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk you through a great example of a website that has ticked most of the Storybrand boxes. It's a Storybrand framework. Over here, you can see the 7 elements to a story. There's always a character that has a problem. The problem can be external, internal, or philosophical. This character with a problem meets a guide that understands their fear. This guide displays empathy as well as authority. This guide has a plan. This plan then the guide then calls the character to action, and this plan of the guide will result in success, and it will result in failure for the character. So when you consider all these 7 elements, this is the story that a good Storybrand website should tell to the character or to the visitor of that site. So this is Vinci Wealth. It is a financial planning company in the US. I'm not sure who did this website, but they absolutely nailed the Storybrand elements. So as you can see by the imagery on this website, and by reading this, they talk about retirement. So we can see a old lady that is clearly enjoying her retirement, having a great time with what looks to be her grandchild. So we always say smiles sell. So that's why the imagery is quite important. I always like to see happy people. What they do well here is they make it very clear what they offer their clients. Enjoying their retirement. So it's very clear if I land here what these guys can offer me. They then go ahead to explain it a little bit further in their subheading, saying that we help people make informed, smart decisions about their retirement planning and investments. So right off the bat, I can identify with the image. I can identify exactly what they do, and I can see 2 calls to action. So it's clear for me what the next step is, what they want me to do. If I scroll down a little bit, they did a good job of making sure the contact details are quite prominent. Then what they do is they show some of the benefits or the outcomes that I will have when I work with them. So as the character in the story, they tell me what I will experience when I work with them. I'll have confidence in them. They will educate me about the products that they provide me, the advice they provide me. I can rest assured that they have the knowledge. They'll share that with me. And I can also see in these images the freedom that I will enjoy when I make use of them. Over here, we enter into the section where they present themselves as the guide in my story. So what's very important here is the language. They use the you, your retirement. They do mention we, but again, they talk about you. So you. So it's very important that a website is you focused in terms of it's talking to the client. So that in this section, this is where they show empathy before they start showing authority. So the empathy says you worry about not having enough money. You're afraid to spend money now. You've worked hard your whole life. You should get paid, or you should get to enjoy your retirement. Now that you should statement is what we call the philosophical belief. I think everybody will agree that everyone should get to enjoy their retirement. So that's a bigger belief than just Vinci or just their customer. That's a more popular belief that they also adhere to. So this is the empathy section where they show that they understand exactly what I might be going through as I'm planning for my retirement. Again, a call to action to tell me exactly what they want me to do next. Over here is where they show me that they have a plan. Make it simple to work with them. What's the introduction? Cost sounds easy. They my situation, they analyze investments, they create a plan for me. Looks like my goals. Really, looks like they really do a great job of looking at me and me personally. Plan to action. They help me to represent using my investment, great according to my plan, but I can feel added confidence about the future and current spending. Again, very focused towards me as the client. Step three, monitor and adjust. They monitor my assets, give me forms of communication, and they work with me to make changes as and when required. So even though financial plan is a complex thing to get right and to do, and there might be many formulas and spreadsheets and planning and calculations and algorithms involved into doing the planning, it doesn't have to sound complicated to the client. In fact, we want it to sound quite simple and quite easy to work or to do business with our company. So the idea of the three-step plan is always to make it easy for our client to do business with us. Again, I call to action to schedule a call. This section is very, very, very good. There are very few sites that do this right. So they say, our clients look a lot like you. So here they mention three of the types of people that work with them. A widow in her 70s, worried about income reduction after the passing of her husband. So think of widows that will connect with this little section over here. Think of widows that might not be in their 70s, but maybe they've lost a husband. Maybe it's a widower that has lost his wife. So there's a few different points here that a visitor could connect with. Over here are a couple in their 60s looking for someone local they could trust and look right in the eye. So they target people that might be a little more old school in the sense that they want to have a real relationship and not just be on the phone with them. So again, they highlight what makes them unique and but from their customer's point of view. Last one, couple in the late 50s, anxious to retire and wanting to be proactive. So again, they've identified really well who their target market is. They've even used some pictures here to show what these people might look like. So they are doing a great job of identifying with their target clients. Over here, this again is what we call this is the guide. He unfortunately did not put his name here, which is one of the few mistakes that I would say they made on this website. But this is the guide in my story. If I'm the character, he's going to help me get to the point where I achieve success in my story. So what he does well is he shows his authority. How does he do that? By showing certain logos of radio stations and news channels that he's been featured on, websites that he's been featured on. So it shows me that he is a legitimate guide or authority in this industry. He talks about his experience. He talks about a weekly radio show that he hosts. So he mentions that he's a licensed agent, a certified specialist, both for annuities and funds. So he does a great job of portraying himself as a trusted, reliable advisor. Scroll down a little bit further. This is what we call the agreement plan, the promise from the business to me as the character or as the client. So this is terrific. This is their promise to me. So they've shown me how to do business with them. That's the action plan, the 1, 2, 3. Plus they show me the agreement plan. What's going to happen when I do business with them? It will be available, will be transparent. They'll teach me and educate me and will be very responsible with my money if I were to do business with them. Then this section, very important. This is what we call the lead magnet. I also sometimes call this is goalkeeper that makes sure nobody slips off, maybe nobody doesn't just leave the website without taking any action. So what happens typically is if somebody's gone all the way down to the bottom of the website, they've read through everything, and for some reason we just will to convince them to reach out to us, make contact with us, still got the lead at the very end that will solve a problem for them and that will address a concern or a frustration in exchange for their contact details. So even when we land on this section and I'd worry about the mistakes that my financial advisor might be making about my financial security in retirement, I'll fill in my details. The guidebook might even highlight how my current advisor has certain shortcomings and what he might be doing wrong with my retirement savings. And based off of this book, I might choose to make contact with Vinci Wealth, because now they've shown me their authority, they've shown me their empathy, they've shown how easy it is to do business with them, they've shown me the promise they make to me when I do business with them. So this is an example of a terrific Storybrand website. These guys are based, but I think of the elements that they've done are really, really good. Again, I say you should worry about having to reduce yourself going to it. You should enjoy retirement. That's again the philosophical belief. Something that single will resonate with and say, well, if I'm going to retire, I don't want to be thinking about these things. I want to enjoy my time. I mean, you should. Everybody should. By the time the average person gets to retirement, they've worked bloody hard during their lifetime. There's a great example of a Storybrand website. There are small things that could improve, but this is one of the things I have to show all the elements that make a really good, really well optimized Storybrand website.